The Blight Bog. Whoever will agree to travel there.
Great! No. Well, for a moment there, I was practicing my swamp jelly calls when I saw you passing by. It takes just the right amount of saliva to get their tenor. I'll have to work up another mouthful, but there'll be time for that now that you're here. You can help make my sap dreams a reality. Everyone knows the comfort of being lulled to sleep by the bubbling bog and croaking of frogs, but there's so much more to the music of the swamp. We just need to assemble a quartet of swamp jellies. I borrowed a frog net from my friend in Lilmoth. I'm certain it'll work for catching swamp jellies as well. There are 4 varieties of jellies around here, so one of each color should do. I'll wait here and concentrate on appetizing thoughts. Never seen a swamp jelly? You poor thing. They're wonderful little creatures that float on the wind like feathered seeds that sing, but made of slippery goop. This is why I need you to gather them. People need to see the natural beauty of Murkmire. They like to catch the sea breeze blowing through the marsh to the south along the coast. I'm sure you'll have no trouble if you follow their adorable little calls. The most talkative ones tend to be brightly colored. No, they couldn't hurt a fly. Well, flies are mostly what they eat, but they're perfectly docile, maybe even a little skittish. Just scoop them into the net as gently as you can, and try not to lose the net. I'd never hear the end of it. Salivating. Normally it takes me about an hour to get the ideal mix of phlegm and spit for the proper effect, but I think the anticipation has really got the juices flowing. I promise to be ready by the time you're back. Bark and branch, no. I could never eat swamp jellies. Imagine the sound. Their perfectly pitched little shrieks would be heartbreaking. No, I just want to spread joy and the beauty of the swamp. You'll understand once you've brought the jellies. You have my quartet. Wonderful. My throat is all warmed up. It's time. You can be the first to see the show. Prepare to be amazed. All right, my dears, places. And one, and two. Oh, over here. No. There we go. Finale. Big flourish. So, what did you think? Like nothing you've ever seen, I'll bet. It brings you right to the heart of the hist. It really captures the smell of sap on the wind and the feel of murk gas under your feet, right? Oh, well, I guess it did have a sort of boggy quality. I bet that would sound delightful in a lower key. Maybe I could score a show. It came to me in a dream while napping under a hist. I could hear everything in the swamp, all at once, and yet one at a time. I was entranced by the calls of swamp jellies blending together into a cheerful little song, and I knew what I had to do.
Steps forward, 2 steps back.
I'm about to head up to the new Root Whisper village.
Your eyes are as lovely as muddy puddles.
You brought hope to the Grey Mire. There is so little for my people. Thank you.
You are the one Zuka spoke of, yes? Friend to the Brightthroats. I need your help. We need your help. One of our tribe has been killed. Brutally. Donley was skinned alive. Whoever did that to him wanted to send a message. They left his body on display. He was not dead when we found him, but there was nothing we could do, other than wet his tongue before the end. Then it is a warning to many. Our Root Heralds held a moot with our allies and learned that Donley was not the only Saxleal to suffer this fate. Zuka says you are one to be trusted. Would you please help prevent this from happening again? You should speak to Milsis in Brightthroat Village. She is the one who found poor Donley. Be gentle with her. She was quite shaken by what she saw. I will await word from you at Deadwater Village. It is the safest place I can think of. Thus far, the killer has taken the young, the old, and the sick. The Deadwater are fierce warriors without mercy. None of their tribe have been counted among the Skin Taker's victims. Perhaps the murderer is a coward. I can only hope. It's true that the Deadwater wear skins of the dead, but only those of their own tribe. It is to honor their fallen. I can't imagine one of them killing with such cowardice. It's a risk I'm willing to take. We do not think this is something spawned from our nest bed. This is not how Saxleal resolve their differences. Even Black Tongues would not torture someone they intended to kill. It would not serve the Hist. It must be someone beyond their roots. I would not be surprised if the Skin Taker was among the blackguards, but even they are rarely so meticulous in their violence. It takes patience, a steady hand, and a stone heart to skin something alive. Thus far, the killer has taken the... It's true that the Deadwater wear skins of the... Why would we not? Saxleal name many things according to their nature. When I speak of the Skin Taker to my rootkin, there is no confusion of whom I am speaking about. I take your meaning, I think. All the more reason for you to help us find the truth. For lack of anything to grasp upon, we can only thrash about in search for answers. We do not think this is something spawned from our nest.
Doing it wrong. I was hoping I'd rubbed off on you, but here you are, still clinging to the meaningless. Helping these boring people dig up their pasts, attaching significance to old bones and cracked stone, picking up every little thing you see because you think ownership matters. I'll bet you've got chests full of junk you don't need. Well, you're very skilled at making baggage for yourself. Preparation is storing food for lean times. Piling up lumber and lemons for the ill-conceived juice stall you're never going to open is just procrastinating. Use it or let it go. Trust me. You learn to step lightly in the swamp, or you drown. Or get eaten. Or, well, you get the idea. Try not to let these bone polishers get you killed, sifting through mud for old rocks.
Don't forget to empty your pockets now and again.
Ah! Don't kill me. Or at least make it quick. Not like the others. Please, not like the others. Bark and birth. I nearly jumped out of my skin. Maybe I should have. It couldn't be worse than what the skin taker did to poor Donley. Dangled like toad jerky from a tree. Not a scrap of skin or scale left on him. It's true. He was trying to tell me something, but his voice was as ragged as a broken branch. I don't know how he had the strength to speak. I couldn't understand. All I could do was wet his tongue before he returned to the hist. It sounded like he was saying hist. I think he wanted to be returned to the roots before the end. That's not much, is it? Maybe Sulacia would know something more useful. He found one of the other victims. Sulacia lives in Alton Mirhiliel, across the marshlands to the southwest, just off the coast. I hope you find the skin taker before they take anyone else. I will rest more easily when they are caught, if I rest at all. He's a deadwater tracker that comes through our lands to trade his game. Very skilled so far as I'm aware. I'm sure he would spot 100 things that I missed upon finding Donley. I'm sorry. Oh, sacred sap, he does! Some of the finest pelts and hides we buy are his handiwork. You don't think some were Saxleal? Well, I'm not letting him out of my sight the next time he passes through, if it's all the same to you.
I've seen you, yes, the friend of Zukas. Beware, the roads surrounding Alton Mirhiliel are no longer safe. I keep watch, but I am only one. My name carries far these days. Why do you seek me? More than one. Choglada, impaled on a pole near here. Zuti, hanging from a tree near Lilmoth. On display like dread warnings, they are pitiful trophies. There is no glory in killing a withered root and an unblooded child. The skin taker only preys on the weak and defenseless. Confronted by a warrior, they turn their tail in disgrace. If we cross paths, I will not let them escape. Goosen, one of my tribe, found the skin taker carrying another victim to display. The coward fled without a fight. If this murderer interests you, speak to Goosen in Dead Water Village. Too clean, for one. Very little skin was left clinging to the muscle below. The skin taker works slowly. Their technique is one of cruelty, not efficiency. It could not be done safely in the field. This skin taker has a den.
You sniveling snake. That's my coin purse, and you know it.
Your coin purse? It is I who found it, and so it is now my coin purse. It's good to see you, Bigogel. I have not forgotten your freeing me from the blackguards. What brings you to Deadwater Village? Would that I had killed her. When I was captured, one of the blackguards seared my leg with a hot poker to prevent my escape. It remains difficult to run. The skin taker moved under the cover of darkness, but the moonlight betrayed her. The woman had skin as pale as Vishgliel scales. It caught the light easily. She was dressed in blackguard leathers, 2 curved blades at her hip. I crossed paths with the skin taker by the Deadwater pools near our village. I wish you better luck in your pursuit than I. Kill this skin taker, and I should very much like to hear about it. They did not take my eyes or hands, so I am still of some use. Deadwater are no strangers to pain. Our medicines are strong. I will recover. Not one of ours. That's all I can say for certain. We await members of the other tribes to account for their missing. With the body lost to the Deadwater pool, there is little else to be done. A possibility. The blackguards have sent brutal messages in the past, but they were clear with their intentions. This skin taker has kept her identity in shadow.
How much longer are you going to wait? Orky's bumpy arse, it hurts. Yeah, you do me a mercy and slit my throat. I can't take any more of this. Don't bother. Savages rub their traps in poison. Got me so weak. The leg started festering a few hours ago. Infection spread to my blood. I'm a goner. Just wish it'd be over with already. Playing errand boy for a mad woman. Stumbled into this trap looking for her damned mother's knife. Didn't think it wise to refuse her. Juliet has been unhinged since she got murdered. Is that what they're calling her? Julita is the horking skin taker. Mud lizards slit her mother's throat after taking her prisoner. Who's going to miss a slave, right? Bet Julita knew they'd be prepared this time. Had me take the fall. Do I look like a skeever to you? I should. Caught in a trap, diseased and half dead. She sent me to this miserable death, so what do I owe her, huh? She's in an old blackguard hideout. A cave not too far from here. One entrance, one exit, but trapped. If you find the fool girl, tell her Axtred will be waiting with her knife in Orky's bloody teeth. No, been abandoned a while. Perfect place for your skin taker to work undisturbed. She didn't like us around when she had guests. Doesn't hurt so much now. The end must be close. Just leave me to die in peace. I did. Hostia was a strange one. She was cold as ice when it came to the lizards, but she returned to camp smiling for her daughter. Father was long gone. Rumor was he got executed by one of the tribes, and they had to watch. Her too now. Figures. I wouldn't tell that to Julita when you see her. Maybe I would. Lunatic's the reason I'm going to die with a damp ass. I don't know your part in all this, but she's never going to stop. Might as well finish what they started.
Axtrid! Did you find it? I need it for my mother. She has to be here for this. They're coming for me now. Just send me to Mother, but I won't go. I'm not finished yet. You won't take this from me. You won't take anything else from me.
you return. There has been no news of the skin taker. What of your hunt? I had faith that you would. What honorless toad did this? Whose kin shall we seek in retaliation? Then their muddied line will trouble us no more. End a battle with finality, and you need only fight it once. We are not accustomed to considering the concerns of others, something we must look to the Brightthroats to learn. We will never be so unguarded, but tempering our strategy with restraint may be a boon. The lesson is appreciated.
It's simply a cultural difference.
This used to be a place that only the tribes knew. I suppose those days are gone. I hope they return. This is not a well-trod path. This quiet muck should stay undisturbed, save for the tenders. When the refuge sees visitors, calamity is not far behind. A secret place. A safe place. What you can see is only the surface. Below the cloudy waters, far, far below, is a place where all our tribes take shelter when Sithis seeks to reshape Murkmire. Invasion, disaster, nothing follows us into the mud. For now. Every season, the tribes send tenders to keep the refuge prepared for when the great changes come. No one ventures here without a need. When the trouble follows, the refuge will be ready. Do nothing that might cause the foolish Dryskin to fall. I must return him safely if I am to be paid, and I have had to retrieve him from that sagging wreck 3 times already. A better question would be why anyone would care. It is the rotten husk of a dead tree. The fact its shape is different does not make it any less useless. Perhaps it was shaped by the dreams of the Hist and fell from the sky. Or perhaps this tree simply desired a headdress. Does knowing either change that it is now a tangle of soggy sticks? If you want to play guessing games, speak to the Dryskin.
Hold on, watch where you're stepping. This is an anthropological site now, no place for tourists and hikers. Although, you have the look of an explorer about you. If you're with one of the expeditions, I suppose you could stay and observe. Strillian Calidus, Scholar Emeritus at the Imperial Naval Consortium. Or what remains of it. I happened to be on sabbatical when the Alliance War began, and now it's been extended indefinitely. Show some respect. This wreck is the Dominus Fatum, one of the most storied vessels of the First Empire. Its crew apprehended the notorious Black Marsh pirate Red Brahmin during the reign of Empress Hestra, a testament to their resolve. When Empress Hestra demanded the head of Red Brahmin, most of his pursuers chased him from the Topol Bay all the way into Black Marsh. The Dominus Fatum, however, chose to brave Shadowfen's uncharted rivers and head him off from the north. Sacrifices were made, but they were not in vain. Though the Dominus Fatum became mired in the swamp, it made it closer to Black Rose than any other ship, and its crew captured Red Brahmin, much to his surprise, I'm sure. I don't know, but I'm thankful for its safekeeping. The Dominus Fatum would have drowned in muck otherwise. The ship may have careened over the embankment and into the branches, but the tree might not have even been here 1,000 years ago. Because I am, or was, the chair of Vexologium at the Consortium, and I can count the number of Dark Elf vessels that flew an Imperial Vexillum on one finger. Flag. Imperial vessels, particularly those of the early First Empire, carry their unique banner into battle, hung suspended from a tall pole by a crossbar. It didn't, but the frame that bore it was little worse for wear. After I scraped the grime off, I can tell you few units had the honor of carrying their Vexillum on a solid gold frame. The crew of the Dominus Fatum have that distinction. It was captured by the Empire during the Battle of Tyr Harbor, during the War for Silyanorn, what would become Stormhold. In honor of their defeat of the Indoril fleet, the flagship was given to the Legion and christened the Dominus Fatum.
1 point. Unless it's raining, of course. And then you are awarded 2.
The game is lost if the ball passes through the highest hoop. Unless the moons are both more than halfway full.
Though the Saxhleel generally choose to live in tribes based around a history,
How good it is to see all of the tablets back in their proper place. What a sun-blessed hour this is. All of the tablets have been returned. Now, there is one more task before the Zinshe Konu is fully restored. I must evoke the Vaste Se, otherwise known as the Ritual of Change. Unfortunately, I am unsure of the components needed to complete the ritual. Will you ask the aid of my mentor, Niswo Parisi? He watched over the monument before I was granted the honor, but now serves as a priest of Sithis. Parisi travels among the tribes, spreading the dark word. Last I heard, he was headed to the Brightthroat village. You'll most likely find him there. And please, do not mention the theft. I'd rather my mentor not learn of my incompetence. I am once more indebted to you, Biko. Should Parisi grow suspicious, tell him I wish to write about the ritual in my newest book. That should suffice. The Zinshe Konu is no mere collection of carved stone. It is the will of change, the force which pushes through stagnation. The Vaste Se will spark that power once more, connecting all back to one.
Death, darkness, decay. They come to us, unbidden and unwanted. So too is your presence before me. Tell me, what is it you need? Ah, the Vast, they say. How interesting that my pupil sent you in his stead. So Vose has finally found the tablets of the Zinche Konu. Impressive. I thought the task would take far longer for one so stuck in his books. So Vose had you do all the work, did he? Well, it is only fitting that you should prepare the ritual components for the Vastese as well, then. You will need brackish mud, a deathly bloom, and wood which crumbles stone. You'll need to find places of duality, swamp and sea, death and life, stone and wood. But I'm sure you've had enough with riddles by now. Today, I'll simply mark the locations on your map. Once you have collected the items, travel back to the Zinche Kono. I have no doubt my pupil awaits you with bated breath. I suppose I could take time from my actual duties to sate your mere curiosity. What more do you wish to know? Once I watched over the Zinche Kono, learning its secrets and sharing its wisdom. Now I speak the dark words of Sithis, traveling the tribes and spreading its wisdom. A similar task, truth be told. The Zinche Kono is a catalyst of needed change. Sithis is the force which causes all change. Death which leads to rebirth, night which is followed by day, hope that crumbles to despair. Change is not always welcomed, but it is always needed. The items you are to gather represent not only duality, but also change. The mud which flows from swamp to sea, the living flower which blooms from death, the wood which crumbles the stone that once hindered it. Vose will then use them as offerings to the force of change. This will spark the power which resides in the Zinche Kono. By returning the tablets, you merely give Vose the rushes and weeds. It is he who must now weave the basket.
Halt, Ojel. Why do you approach the tree that crumbles stone? I do hope you're not here to harm this tree, Ojel, because then we would have issues. Well, as long as it's just the fallen branches, you may go ahead. This is the tree that crumbles stones, the change which breaks down stagnation. Once, our ancestors made walls of stone with the foolish notion that we could stop that which changes. This tree represents the futility of such thoughts, because it teaches us that which we cannot forget. Stone crumbles, walls break. We must bend against the force of change, lest we snap against its strength.
That's my coin purse, and you know it. Your coin
purse. This is not what I paid for. There was fun.
Welcome back. Dare I hope that Niswo Parazi agreed to help? Well, I suppose word does travel. I will have to speak to him once the ritual is completed. But for now, I am afraid I must beg your help once more. Very little, I promise. I've combined the ritual components together. You must place the mixture into the ceremonial bowls as I say the incantation. Vaka Rilsh Vaste Busik Zal. Ila Ruhiva Wuksa Vaste Bok Tar Saka. It worked! The Zinche Konu changed the weather!
The king and Afterpact are at Urinstan. They say the Orc Thane has taken refuge in the Skuldafin Hills.
The ritual worked! The Zinche Konu has regained its power once more. And it's all thanks to you. You've helped me greatly throughout this entire ordeal. I hope you find this a suitable gift for all of your troubles. And feel free to visit the Zinche Konu whenever you please. That's strange. I thought the effect would last much longer.
I see you're at least able to perform the Vaste successfully. Surprising, to say the least.
Why the cutting words, Parisi? All I did according to your teachings.
Did I teach you to beg an Ojel to perform your duties? You should have collected those tablets, Vose. How could you not see that?
Was it you who stole the tablets, Parisi? Why? Why would you desecrate the Zinche Konu in such a way?
If you had your eyes towards your people, and not only towards your books, I would have no need to take such actions. This was a lesson, Vose. A lesson you failed.
But I was able to perform the Vaste.
Only for a moment. One of such weak will can never truly be a catalyst of change. I suppose another lesson will now be in order.
Parisi? Wait! Don't tell me you're going to steal the tablets again!
Though the Saxhleel generally choose to live in tribes based around a history